Welcome to the Solid Signal podcast for February 4th, 2013. Let's get right into it. I've called 2013 the year of DirecTV commercial. Now, you may not think that this is an important subject for you, but listen on for a couple of seconds and you might get interested. Most everybody works, right? You work in the home or you work outside the home. This podcast is for those of you who work outside the home. You need just as much information as you always have. Of course, you got a smartphone. Of course, you have the internet. But that's not the whole package, is it? There's no substitute for good old-fashioned television, especially when you need to know something in the case of an emergency. Here's a question for you business owners out there. Do you get your phone and your internet from the same company? Do you have television in that business too? Do you get that from the same company? You know, that doesn't make a lot of sense when there's an emergency. Internet lines are some of the first things that can get cut. A tree can fall on phone lines, buried cables can freeze over. You know, think about it. You lose that one cable, you lose all your sources of information. Okay, so you're thinking I have a smartphone, that'll cover me for phone and internet. But what about just plain old television? You're going to need a backup for that, especially if you live somewhere where natural disasters happen. And let's face facts, pretty much everybody does now, don't they? Have you thought about that? Because there's one way that you can guarantee that you're going to get television pretty much no matter what the weather condition. DirecTV service isn't dependent on wires coming into the building, which is great in case of an emergency. The only thing it needs is electricity, so if you have a generator, you can have DirecTV service. And a properly installed DirecTV dish, and that may include a dish heater, is going to function 24/7, 365 for you in all but the worst emergencies. In case of severe weather emergencies, hey, your people could be there late, they could even have to sleep overnight. DirecTV service is an important way that you can keep them both informed and entertained at that time. Okay, let's talk about those non-emergency days. After all, let's hope there are a lot of them, right? DirecTV is great there too, and here's a way that you might not have thought about that can actually save your business money. For the most part, your employees get their entertainment from your internet. No matter whether or not you have policies against it, the odds are probably good that they're surfing the web when you're not looking. You'll have an easier time enforcing a no internet policy if you give them another way to get that entertainment. DirecTV service in the break room can be that way. Now think about it this way. If your employees are still using the internet, you're paying an awful lot for bandwidth that isn't helping your business. Business owners know that internet service for business costs about 3 to 4 times, sometimes even 10 times as much as residential internet service. So just to up the speed for no good reason for the business, that's a huge expense. Of course, we're all conditioned to think that DirecTV service in a public area is very expensive. And it's true, if it really is a public area like a bar or a waiting room. But if you're getting a DirecTV for Business private viewing account, which means just in the break room, in the warehouse, in the owner's office, somewhere where the public isn't, really the prices are very comparable to residential DirecTV service and a lot less than getting your internet upgraded. You know, the last several years have been very hard for everybody. Benefit cuts, salary cuts, a lot of businesses just struggling to stay alive. How about giving your employees something a little extra this time? For not a lot of money, you can put DirecTV in the break room, give them a little benefit. Put it in the warehouse. It's a great way to get people to come in on Saturdays and Sundays, especially if you order the sports packages that they really want to watch. Before we finish up for this week, I wanted to talk about the most common objection that I hear when talking about DirecTV for Business. What if my employees just sit there and watch TV all day? The fact is, your employees already know how to deal with distractions. They've got computers on their desks, smartphones in their pockets, they've got their coworkers, they've got the break room, they've got the soda machine. You know, when you think about it, they're already handling this. Adding DirecTV service is not going to lower productivity. If anything, it's going to raise it, because it's going to raise morale. Just something to think about. So that about does it for this week's Solid Signal podcast. If you've got an idea, go to blog.solidsignal.com, click the Contact Us link at the bottom of the page. Thanks and have a great week.